Hey guys, Tisha here, and we are back for another Sister Wives Rewatch. This is season 1, episode 5. I watched this episode and I can't help but say to myself that I am seeing already more and more how the beginning of the end was happening for this family. We begin with the wives shopping for a collider ring for Robyn. Apparently, Cody gives them a ring, but the wives have done this among themselves where they've gotten each other a collider ring, which Mary said it's some type of Irish ring. And from what I could see, it had like a heart on it and something that looked like hands. As they're looking at the different rings, the first price that the lady tells them is that they have this ring. It's for $150. And you see that Janelle says, okay, first things first, we need to talk about the budget. So here we are early on, and we know that money has been some form of an issue for the Brown family. And I say that because $150 is not a lot of money for a ring, especially when you have 3 people purchasing this ring. So the fact that $150 was taken into consideration back then makes me further believe that they did this show for money. I mean, Cody has said for many years that he did it because he wanted us to see, a successful polygamous relationship. But I think money very much had something to do with it as well. When asked what the ring is for, the women hesitate to tell the true reason. They're asked if it's for like a birthday or something like that. And they're like, it's a just because gift. So let me get this straight. You all have gone public to show people about polygamy and how great it can be. But when asked about it by people, you guys hesitate and don't take the opportunity to talk about polygamy. Just something I noticed. Early on, we see Robyn saying that she's trying to find her place in the family. She has different photos that she's taken, some of with the wives now. And she shows her daughter a picture. I think it was Brianna. She shows her a picture of Cody and the 3 other ladies, as long as with Robyn in the picture. So Cody and his 3 wives and Robyn are in the picture, and she's pointing like, who's this, who's this, who's this. So we see her start off with Mary on the end, and she's like, that's Mama Mary or something like that. Then she gets to the middle and she's like, that's Cody. And she says, that's who? So then she goes, oh, that's Daddy. It's been a few weeks. Robyn has said it herself that she has now been in Utah for a few weeks. We know that they've been engaged now for maybe like a month. They've been courting for maybe like 4 months. And you want your child to call him daddy. You're forcing your children to call this man daddy, a man that they've only known for a few months. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't feel like that's right. First of all, you're not married to him yet. Second of all, that should be something that comes naturally. One of the things that I loved about my parents, because both of them at one point were married, they got divorced, they both remarried. My father never forced me to call my bonus mom anything that I did not want to call my bonus mom. He didn't tell me to call her mom. Now, he made very clear that I needed to respect her and all those other things, but he did not tell me to call her mom. And when my mother remarried, she did not tell me to call him dad. They allowed me to figure out exactly what I wanted to call their significant others. And I appreciate it that much more seeing this episode, because Robyn really like corrected her when she said that's Cody. She been calling him Cody all this time before. Maybe you wanted him to call her Mr. Cody, but I don't agree with forcing her to call him dad, especially since she still had a dad. Now, of course, we know that Robyn spun whatever narrative about her dad, but at some point, like, I just didn't like it. Let me stop talking on a tangent. We see Mary's child talking to Cody about not wanting to go to public school anymore. Mary's child doesn't like it. They want to go back to polygamy school, which Cody says that he's kind of not, he doesn't really like the idea of it, because the private school is not a regular private school. It's a polygamy private school, and it's not accredited. So a lot of times what happens is when it's time for those kids to graduate, they don't even get to graduate. They have to get their GED. Mary's child then talks about the Naval Academy and how that's kind of what they want to lean towards, because they want to eventually be a doctor or something along that sort. And Mary is sitting there, excited or whatever. Cody says that that's a big commitment, and Mary's child understands that. Whatever he says, he's really proud of her. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard not to say the wrong pronouns. I said this before. Please forgive me if I say the wrong pronouns, but we have to remember that I'm seeing a lot of Mary's child in this episode, and I'm really not trying to be disrespectful. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to be disrespectful when I use the wrong pronouns. I'm trying very, very hard to make sure that I respect their wishes, but sometimes I may slip up like I just did, and I am so sorry. I'm not trying to do that. Anyways, back to where I was going. Cody looks at Mary and says that he thought that the talk was going to be about Mary saying she was pregnant. Mary said in last episode that she has been pregnant twice in 20 years. You've been together for 20 years. Why would you think that that was what the discussion that they wanted to have with you would be about? Mary said that they tried for 20 years to have kids, and after seeing several doctors, they all say the same thing, that she has unexplained infertility. They've had ups and downs during the courtship that Cody's had with Robyn. Along with this, for some reason, we're talking about this fertility thing. In the confessionals, while Mary's talking about the ups and downs and how hard it's been, I just don't understand why the answer to this is to add another wife. Because even Christine said in episode 1, I think, that when you have problems with 2 wives, in their situation, they recommend adding a third. If you don't fix the problems, adding on to it isn't going to help anything. So I don't quite get that, but okay. We hear again how Mary pushed Cody to Robyn, how after they left, she kept mentioning her. And I just don't, something about this still doesn't seem right to me, because I don't understand how Robyn just happened to be in the same place as you all when we know that she lives 5 hours away. But this is what y'all going to say, so we're going to keep going with it. and how she didn't realize it, but while he's been courting her, it's been releasing feelings of jealousy and different emotions in her, and she doesn't understand why Cody can't understand. Mary, he doesn't understand because he's not in your shoes, nor would he be able to be in her shoes. They go out for their 20-year anniversary dinner at a fancy place. And while at the dinner, they're talking about these jealousy issues. And Mary then poses the question that we've seen in many clips where she asks how, he would feel if she were to be in his position and be with two men. And he said that he doesn't even want to think about that because the thought of that is vulgar. He said he knows that it seems hypocritical, but the emotion in that is just something that he doesn't want to deal with. He doesn't want to address it because it's unhealthy for him. So you don't want to address the emotions of seeing someone that you love other people. You don't want to think about someone that you love being intimate with other people. But it's all right for those ladies to have to endure it. These women are expected to be okay with Cody sharing his bed with other women. Because that's what it is. Yes, he does. They don't all sleep in the same bed. Yes, he goes and visits each wife on different nights. But the truth of the matter is they are all sleeping with each other. Some people may disagree with me, but I'm going to call a spade. And I'm taking the gloves off because we're not going to sit here and act like that's not what this is. Cody is able to sleep around in his marriage because he's a polygamist. She's just telling him that she wants patience and understanding. He claims that he understands it, but he also brings up the fact that, Mary, you chose this. You're the one who brought Robyn into the family, and it's what you signed up for. You saying that she chose it negates the fact that she's telling you, hey, I know that I chose this. I know that I introduced you or suggested for us to look into this woman, but I'm still feeling this way. And I don't know how Mary was with Christine and Janelle emotion-wise, but it sounds like they didn't have as big of a problem with jealousy because he said he's so surprised by the fact that Mary's responding this way. I honestly think that the women saw something different in their husband when it came to Robyn, and it made them uncomfortable. It was a different level of love that they hadn't seen before, and subconsciously it stirred up something in them because more than one person at this point, because Christine has also let us know that she's jealous. More than one person at this point is jealous of this woman. I'm not talking about another woman to this extent on my anniversary night. To me, they should have saved that conversation for another day. Cody says that Mary being jealous was a shock. It's a contradiction between the enthusiasm that she's showing, but her saying that she doesn't want to see them kiss and she doesn't want to see the physical stuff. That's not a contradiction. Because from what I understand, a lot of your wives don't want to see that. Look at how Christine said last episode, I believe it was, or maybe the episode before that, that she got mad that he kissed Robyn because they're not even married yet. So she's not the only person who feels this way. He then says, after 20 years, why stay? And she's like, because of the family and because of the kids, and I love how they love me. She's staying because it's what she's been taught to do. Mary, unlike yourself, grew up in polygamy. And as we've seen by the many, many years that she has been with you and the many, many years that you did not respect her as your wife, I'm just going to call it what it is. Because for you to withhold intimacy, that's a lack of respect, in my opinion. Obviously, it's because of her faith. He stares her in her eyes and says that he feels so deeply for her and he loves her so much and how important she is to him. And I do believe that at this time that he did love her. I don't know what happened to change it besides the catfish, because the catfish was the final straw for him. But something happened before the catfish that he was withholding intimacy from Mary, because we find out later on that Mary was more vocal, season 17 in that tell-all, about how he had stopped doing things with her as well. We then see Mary and Cody are on their way to Mexico, and Christine says that she's glad that they're going because their relationship has been off lately. If the relationships are supposed to be separate, how does Christine know that their relationship has been off? What has she seen or what has she been told? We know that Cody pillow talks. We know that even though Cody says that each relationship has its own thing, yada go, that over the years we've seen instances where it's been obvious that he's discussed one situation that he had with a wife to another wife. He's really, really good at doing that with Robyn, where he said, Christine like kicked me out, whatever, what should I do? And Robyn basically told him like, go back over there. And so we know that he does have these discussions with his wives, but it's just so, I never thought about the fact that Christine mentioned it. So it was obvious to her that they were having problems, but y'all still added another wife? I guess I just can't get past that. She talks about with all the different wives and the different relationships that Cody has, because it's not a lot of time for you to have your own personal time, that it's not like monogamy, that you have to take time for one another, that trips like this are important. We see a video of them in Mexico and they look happy. We see them like in the water and all that other stuff. And as the video is playing, they're sitting down looking like they're having a good time. And Cody takes this time to tell his wife that for their 20th anniversary present, he thinks that they should do fertilization. He wants to talk to a fertility doctor. Her reaction let me know that she wasn't for it. Cody, after 20 years, you don't know that your wife is okay with not having a baby now? I really feel like and I gotta look into it, because I don't, if I'm wrong, someone in the comments correct me, but I feel like procreation is a thing. Like the more kids you have, the better you are seen in your husband's eyes, because why are you all continuing to talk about this when she already said that she's satisfied? You think that you all should do in vitro fertilization, which is very costly, even though your wives were just debating about the price of a $150 ring. Which is another reason why I'm like, okay, is this just him doing what we now see him do, where he like pokes and pries and tries to get his way? Or is it something that he legitimately really, really wanted? He pushed this baby thing on her. Mary says that she didn't want to tell him no. She felt guilty saying no, but she doesn't see the point. He says he'd like to have another baby. Mary talks about how 3 years ago, she had a miscarriage. She was pregnant, and then 12 weeks later, she lost it. That if she has a baby naturally, then fine, but she doesn't want to force the issue. Even after she says all of this, he says he's been told no, but it wasn't a no in a strong enough fashion for it to be over yet. You guys, you see how Cody, from day one when we were introduced to him, started showing us some of his ways. You at this point have, what is it, 13 kids, I think it is. You got a lot of kids. You've had children with all of your wives, with the exception of Robyn. Why are you trying to push for Mary to have another baby? I feel like he does a great job of making Mary feel like she's inadequate because she has not been able to provide the amount of children that he would like to see from her. I think that he enjoys telling people that he's had all of these kids. I think that it does something for his ego because you keep pushing for something that obviously is a sore subject for her. If she told you she no longer wants to have kids, then let it go. If it happens naturally, like she said, then it happens naturally. But it really made me mad because it's obvious that Mary gets sad about it, but she only really gets sad because of how it has affected, to me, her situation with Cody at this point. I think that in the beginning, it probably was a sore spot for her. I feel like at a certain point, once she had their child, that she was finally content. I feel like they kept trying, more so probably because of him. And at some point, she just was okay with, all right, I have my child and I'm good. And then she had another pregnancy and she lost that pregnancy. And he is a man, so he doesn't get it. Miscarriages for women, especially depending on how far along you are, is not an easy thing. It does something to you emotionally. It makes you question your body. It makes you wonder if you did something wrong. It makes you paranoid in pregnancy when you get pregnant again. Like, there's a lot of things that come with a miscarriage that I feel like Cody isn't considering. You were devastated, but how do you think Mary felt? Anyways, I'm trying, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to start combining some of these episodes because this is a lot of seasons to be doing one episode here, one episode there. Like I said, I'll see what the numbers do. Let me know if you guys are liking these. Comment down below. Say hi. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Oh, subscription. Subscription would even be better. Ooh. But until next time.